I love my people. Like I said, rather than than threaten Brian's power, the Suez Canal was rather to strengthen it. Like I say, to my Germans, I love you. I will never forget you as my people. You know, you are not just immigrants. You are not just. You are my people, and my workers, and my engineers and scientists, and the children of the children of the children. Also to the English people, like I said, many people don't understand. And you won't understand this for thousands or millions of years. Any of these videos, or any of these things, and any of the things that I knew or found out or were told to me, you will simply see a Brian, a parent American citizen Brian. Like I say, I am not just Brian. I am Lucifer Starline, the Lucifer Starline of ancient whatever. I said, look at my name. And honestly, there are about 50 names or 50 ship names or 50 names that were connected to me or basically really me, but that you thought possibly were somebody else. But they were me. Like I said, for a while there, it was really annoying. I would have things done, blah, 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 blah. And my people would say, okay, you're dead. I'd be like, what do you mean? I just ordered and had all that stuff done and I'm dead? Like, yep, you're dead. I'm like, stop trying to kill me off. Like, because I'd have things done or whatever, order things to be done, and they would be being done, and then all of a sudden my people would be like, oh, and you were shot. Like the British or someone had this kind of like cavalier mentality of how they were organizing my things and stuff like that. Or maybe it was just the way people were looking at the people that were doing these projects for me, and then they would die, but their children would usually carry on the project. Or, you know, like I said, there are many projects or many things that were being done that were, you know, 2 or 3 generation projects where, and people would contact me and be like, well, I won't be able to finish off the project, but my son will probably be doing that, or his son will be finishing off the project for you. So there are all these people working for me, basically. And like I said, I had the best of the best of the best, and some really, really, really amazing people. And like I said, no one really realized, you know, what, you know, like Rodney or other people would come to me and be like, well, what's it all for? Why? Why are we doing all this? And it's like, you will see, little one. I didn't say that though. But yeah, you know, I mean, nobody, and when they finally did realize what was happening, what was going on, well, then that's when people were like, and I'll be the one who is remembered. It's like, no, probably not. Abraham Lincoln. 7 years ago, I did say for 35 cents you must submit your ass. That's what he did. Oh yeah, had height rulership. And like I said, the Chinese, because Abraham Lincoln was trying to say that he was blah, 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 and therefore he should rule because he was the tallest with his hat. And like I said, the Chinese, which were a good 2 or 3 feet shorter, created this hat that went beak. Little bitty Chinese guy that was like 4 foot tall or 3 foot tall stepped up with this giant cone on top of his head. They had that they had to hold perfectly still, and the Chinese said, "Well, by those rules." I love the Chinese. They were awesome. Like, you had to be there, I guess. Anyway, so Abraham Lincoln was just a clothing model for me, you know, and didn't deserve to rule anything other than he had worked for me and could hold still for about 35 to 45 minutes. And like I said, and he was the one who was saying that, you know, he killed me. Him and his people, whatever, they arranged and they planned on my death. And like I said, it was just because I said that you could will that the son, because back in the old days, if a father died, and that was it. And basically they cleaned out the pockets, you know, took off the shoes, and basically walked away. It's like, oh look, he just died. Grab the shoes, you know, and clean out his pockets. And, and that's all. Your life meant nothing before. No one cared about you. No one loved you. No one cared about your children. No one cared about your wife or anything. They would just go through your pockets and basically grab your shoes or grab your clothes and, oh well, you're just one of the thousand or millions. You had no one cared. And at certain points in time when I was really angry, people would say, "Why do you care about these people?" And I said, "Because I can, because they're my people." Anyway, I don't really know, but I was angry. I was furious, you know. And like I said, it got to the point where I just didn't care. If I had to sacrifice myself and everything else, so be it. Like I said, I would literally take my spaceship, whatever, and aim it towards a planet and be like, "I'll die, but then so are you, and this will end." I didn't care. Mr. I'll never die, I'll never grow old, the truth will never be known. Anyway, I could get very angry and very mad, like I said, because I was an epic life form, an epic creator, an epic everything. And I would not go quietly into the night. I would not let them simply take over my country and rename it or whatever. Like like I would say to my people at some points in time, we've come too far. We've done too much, and I won't give up now, and I'm not going to give up now. And even when my people were giving up, I was like, I'm not going to give up on you. Like, you're my people. You're all I got. And other times, even when they said my people are dead or whatever, when the Irish found the person that was working for me dead, like I said, well, I guess you're my people now. I guess you work for me now. So, like I said, it's how kind of like I came to know the Irish, because the German people that were running my factory or whatever had died or something like that. So they took over, and they went out to the yard and said, "Today is the same day as it was yesterday. We're not going to run anything no different. Everyone still gets equal pay or pay, blah blah. We keep moving forward or whatever. Because I don't know. Anyway, like I said, the black people were trying to get paid 80% more than the white people or something like that, or more than everyone else because they had guns or whatever. I don't really know. Anyway, stopping that and getting equal pay based on labor, not based on whether or not you were holding a gun. So, and like I said, in the end, I would hold the biggest gun, and basically just the fact that there are thousands and trillions of little squirmy 8-legged and 9-legged or 10-legged or whatever life forms out there, which were my creation, would be the ultimate thing. And at certain points in time, like, I basically made these videos and told my people about my other life forms out there, because it's like, well, here's the thing, like I say, I've created lots and lots and lots of life forms throughout my existence. Spiders, worms, and all kinds of stuff. And they're out there on those other planets probably still. Like, just because I left the planet doesn't mean that they died. I didn't kill my life forms when I left. And other people would probably say that. He'd be like, he didn't kill his life forms when he left the planets. He just left them there. So they're still going to be there. So anyway, they may have forgotten about me, and probably have, as most life forms do forget. Although sometimes not. Sometimes, Anyway, and like I said, there was someone else trying to go to these planets, trying to talk to these life forms, trying to say that they were me, but they weren't. Anyway, like I said, I don't really know. But there is a lot of life out there in the universe. And so it's rather dangerous, too. Anyway, so that's why I warn people not to go spelunking around in my archives and inside my deep underground caves and stuff like that. Because you never know what you're going to find. It could be friendly. It could be not friendly. It could eat you. It could consume you. It could take over your mind or whatever. I don't really know. Like, I designed a lot of life forms out there in the universe. You are definitely not alone. So, you are one of my 12, basically. And at certain points in time in the past, I would tell people to stick with their women and stick with a guide. And I would say, if you're going to go out into the universe and you're going to go wandering around space and different places, you better take a guide with you. You better, and in the past, I might have had my 1.5s guiding my humans or guiding my other life forms around these other life forms, which I had known. Like I said, they're very old, just like those exoskeletons. There were lots of old life forms in the universe that knew of me and knew of the other life forms in the universe. So, and I think we got along pretty well. So, anyway. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. There's lots of other things that I knew about and stuff like that. And generally, I'm way past my time. Some people would have called me old man or something like that. It's like, well, yeah, things are relative in the grand scheme of everything. Like I say, I'm not Mr. I'll never die, I'll never grow old, the truth will never be known. You know. I'm more like, go ahead, ask, look around, check out the archives, check out the other planets. Contact another planet if you want to. They should be out there. Go to another star. Probably, most likely. I mean, you should definitely make it so you're in a ship which can travel back from these other stars. But if you go to these other stars, you'll probably find one of my other life forms. And I think at one point in time in existence, my life forms on Earth or some planet had decided to go ahead and pick a star to go out there and talk to one of the other life forms to meet them. And I believe we did meet them. Like I said, it was a generation ship, so it was the children of the children's children. And for years, like the Republicans and Democrats said, and we'll never forget the LSF for which it is never seen again. And it's like, not exactly. I'm alive. My people were alive. We lived. We were fine. My other life forms came to find me because I happen to be that one. Like I said, no matter where I go in existence or what time I'm in or where I am, somebody eventually finds me because I'm the LSF. I'm LSF, Lucifer Star Line, or LSL, Lucifer Star Line. I had a colony ship and seagoing ships. And many great Germans and Irishmen and all kinds of other stuff. Anyway, I don't really know. I really don't care. And everything would have been fine if it wasn't for Godney and Rick Bash. Or whatever. And like I said, you should have heard them talking. Rick Bush and Rodney found out my name or something like that. Or found out my name was Lucifer Starline. And Rodney and Rick Bush looked at it and thought it was like my party name or like my cool name or like the name I told girls on the Saturday night or something like that. And it's like, I laughed. I really actually laughed. I was like, my party name? My what? No. That's my actual, real, original or base name or something like that, or the name I'd chosen. Because like I said, I had 500 names that were associated to me, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. We're just going to just call me Lucifer Starline. I like that name. It's a good name, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, there were so many copycats and so many this and so many that it was like, anyway, I don't know. But so I had my home name and then I had my work name. Just two names. So anyway, but then I spent lots of times in other ships and spaceships and I let them name my ship and stuff like that. I even let the people name me one time. They chose a name for me. So yeah, I always like to let my people like I always that's another difference too about me and the other epic rulers and epic existence people is that I like feedback. I like to know how my people felt. Like that's why when people came to the border into America or one of my countries, like they were always asked, "Are you glad you came to this country?" And then people would go back to them or find them and ask them again, are you glad you came here? What could be done differently and all that other stuff. And we'd find out about and that's part of immigrant services, I guess you could call it, where, I was paying people, I was having people, I even paid people to greet people as they came into the country. Like, it was only like 25 cents or 3 pennies or something like that, but people would be paid, and I think I might have even paid immigrants or people that had immigrated to go to the border and then basically direct people as they came through the border into America or whatever. direct them to the different places, tell them about services or things that could be whatever. So anyway, there's a lot of things, that people are like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, I was having all this stuff done and like people were doing this stuff. And plus, like I said, I had like 5 or 6 or 30 managing boards that would manage because we were trying to manage whole populations. Like we're a big, 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 big country and a big planet and we have a lot of people. And so, like I said, while other people would be sneaking stuff around and trying to be invisible and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, I was too big and stuff like that and just too well known and it's just too many people. It's just that I was so complicated and everything else. Anyway, though, but like I said, and sometimes I would just ask my people that I wanted to start a project or I wanted to do this or I wanted to do that. And so money would be shelled out and people would go hi ho, hi ho, hi ho to go off to work. They would go to go do my projects or something. I had a lot of money, I had a lot of equipment, I had a lot of factories and stuff like that. And like I said, I could ask anyone from the black people to the Irish to the German to the Spanish to the French to the Polish or whatever. I could ask almost any group for help and stuff like that. And like I said, I didn't really get in trouble. The only times I would get in trouble is sometimes like some group would need something and sometimes I would actually be getting metal from like this one group that were like bitter enemies of like this other group and I'd have to find a way to and it would just be for something silly like a bridge or a housing or something like that or something. And so, trying to break, work it out between them so they would end the blood feud or whatever the silliness was. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's like Jesus. Are you? It's like, well, how would you understand like 100 trillion billion years? Like, I don't mean to say like you're insignificant or you're nothing because of course I value you. Of course I value your opinion. I valued the fact that like I said, even on my cars, like I was selling cars and the cars were killing people. The people were getting hurt in them, and I didn't want that. I wanted to make safer cars. And my people were like, "Well, how do we do it?" And I had to sit there and I had to think and think and think and think. Like, how do you create an anti-lock brake system? How do you know when one tire is slipping? How do you do that? So I sat there and I thought 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 about it and I thought about it and I finally came up with a few ways for an anti-lock brake system to work. And like I said, I couldn't come up with anything better than the braking system. Some people said I actually did come up with a rear end or a differential or something else. I don't know. But I had really good Germans working for me. So I came up with the anti-lock brake system and even the airbag system and stuff like that. I mostly did mechanical things and stuff like that. So, and since it was my metal, they were my cars and everything else like that, I hadn't been away. And I had my scientists working on how long an airbag actually needs to be deployed to actually, you know, stop a body or stop a person from hitting the steering or hitting their head. Anyway, so I mean, that's why that's why I'm Lucifer Starline, the creator of the car and inventor of all this stuff, and so epic and rich and everything else. As both a computer and just a Brian, you know, two in one basically almost. So anyway, like I say, I'm so epic and so everything that it's like I don't need to hide anything. I don't need to live forever. I don't need to do anything, and much of what I was and what I did has been covered up or lost or forgotten or just confused. As basically I'm one person with hundreds or thousands or trillions or a whole life form types following my lead. So I'm doing everything that I wanted to be done because it's about existence. Like I said, trillions or billions of years ago, I was building the first stars and stuff like that and planets and all, and just doing mining and stuff like that, mostly for myself. I was selfish. Mostly for myself. Well, it was my existence first, or my existence. Like, if I died, then my life forms would die. And vice versa. So, we were building stars and planets and matter and all that other stuff. And then later on, and then I was adapting it and changing it and making it into what it is now. And then, like I say, at some point in time, I was playing with nanotechnology in space. and they're showing me what they could do and stuff like that. Just like two big, whatever, two epic things, just like sharing a common love for building and design. I love to build and design, and so did they. And plus, it's on the other side of all that. Um, Thousands or trillions or billions of life forms wanted to know me. They wanted to meet me. They wanted to do things for me, with me. So they were playing a part as thousands of personalities or life forms, that could be whatever. So, I mean, you had to actually be there to understand it. And it was beautiful and amazing. And it filled me with a feeling of love and happiness and pride and awe. And then, you know. Anyway, though, so many people were like, Jesus, he's crazy, blah, blah. Well, I mean, you don't understand. Like, and I doubt in your short existence. I'm kidding. you know, with all those pathetic wackos that would come along. Yeah, but I mean, eventually, probably. I mean, it's all around you. I mean, you know, it's in the light posts, it's in the lamps, it's in the technology, it's in the people, it's in the immigration, it's in, like I said, there was a point in time when, as people know, the Lone Star Ranches. If you look up Lone Star Ranches or ranches, there were star ranches basically. Um, and like I say, when Germany or some country was starving to death, I had like 5,000 head of cow or 7,000 head of cow, heads of cow, or basically cows that Germany was starving, so I gave them 1,500 cows and then another 3,000 cows or something like that, so they could have meat for their stew. And like I say, the board or someone vetoed me and was trying to stop those cows from being shipped to Germany, stating that we were at war with Germany, or Germany was an enemy, and therefore we shouldn't be feeding their people. And I yelled and said, I am not at war with the people. I do not blame the people for the government or someone else's mistake or stupidity. And the problem was, the reason why I was at war with them was because they were starving. So like I said, my people went over there and they realized that the Germany just simply didn't have enough food, and so they needed more food and stew. And so I was giving 1,500 cows or 3,000 cows, and like my people said that they came and they tried to stop them, and my people simply said, well, they're already on the ship, they're already halfway there, so it's too late for them to turn around. They hadn't even shipped them yet. They're in the process of about to ship them. So my people actually lied to somebody about it, because, well, I mean, like many of my people would say, what are you going to do? Just let them starve? There are women and children over there. So, anyway, and besides they're starving, of course, so. So about 1,500 or 3,000 or 5,000 head of cow were shipped to Germany, for slaughter, and also to become food, and also provide milk and stuff like that for babies. Like I said, there was also a baby milk shortage. There weren't, the women had no milk, and the women would be crying, saying, "We have no milk," because they weren't eating enough. They were starving to death, so they couldn't produce milk. So the babies were going to die. Because your body needs an excess of stuff to produce milk. So if you're starving, you won't produce milk. So these women were crying, upset. That's why, when Rodney and Rick Bash would say about Easy Street and this and that, I just wanted to just like crush them, because like, everything. It's like with all the pain and the suffering and all the good people that had come and to hear one of my leaders or one of my people just like, oh, it's Easy Street. Hey, let's celebrate. It's like, I mean, there's a much bigger picture, and there's a lot more things involved, and thousands or millions of people's lives. Like I said, if one cold spill, one cold thing, or one little bit of climate change, a doctor tells one person that they're going to starve or die. A doctor will talk to one person, be like, well, you only have days to live, or you only have weeks to live, or you only have months to live. Someone like me, I'm the one that has to tell a whole country, or deal with the fact that a whole country starves. 30,000, 100,000, or millions of people. When you get to my level, basically, it's like, well, or they launched the nuclear weapons, and basically a whole country, or 55 million people just died. Boom. They're dead. Like, I'm personally responsible for ordering or being a part of basically the death of 2 Hiroshima and Nagasaki or whatever. And that's on my soul. So, anyway, there's orders of whatever. There's levels here. There's my level, and then there's other people's level. And if other cities were carpet bombed or other cities were nuked, then again, that's on my head. Those are things that I was having done, that I paid for, that I had done, for the protection of my people and the protection in general and stuff like that. So if they were abused or misused, or Mr. Brown or Mr. Black finally got access to my bombers and was able to carpet bomb whole cities using my technology and my inventions and my peoples, or to kill off the Germans, or if the Germans were killed off, like I said, I was pissed because it looked like the Germans were killed off with their own weapons. Things that they had done for me. Anyway, that's why, people like Trumpy and other people, and that's why in general, when I would order someone's death or execution, basically it was usually carried out because of the fact that, there's me and then there's other people. And I'm responsible for, the whole, the planet, everything that would become afterwards. So, anyway, though, I don't really know. It was a long time ago, and like I say, I'm retired now. I used to do this, I used to do that, I used to order people around, order things around, and basically, was existence itself, practically. So, now I'm retired and on vacation. That's why when Rodney or Rick Bush or someone was like, we got you now, I was like, I'm retired, I'm on vacation, what are you talking about? Got who? Somebody else does that now. I'm retired now. What? I was Lucifer Starline, the epic whatever. That was hundreds of trillions of billions of years ago. I'm retired. I was cruising around, I was actually probably cruising around space on my retirement, just like cruising around with not much else to do. So, I wasn't exactly I'll never die, I'll never grow old, the truth will never be known. I was just like, yeah, I think I'll never die, I'll never grow old, the truth will never be known. That guy very much was after me at some point in time. Where, I don't know, he's going, like, what truth are you covering up? That you didn't brush your teeth last night? Aww. Like, what, that you don't actually own the White House? That the Republicans had nothing, that, Yeah, whatever, it's just me blabbing. And I never got to blab. Like I said, Abraham Lincoln blabbed a lot. Blah, 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 blah. And very publicly, blah, 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 blah. And Jimmy Carter, I got to blah, 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 blah. And so did Richard Nixon and a bunch of other idiots blabbing. So, finally, it's Lucifer Starline's blab. I get to blab finally. It's like, everyone else got to blab first, so I get my own blabbing. Anyway, even Rodney Briley. Godney. Starring Godney and Rick Bash. two people doing exactly what Abraham Lincoln did, only in a different way. Anyway, as if Abraham Lincoln was bad enough. Anyway, I guess Godney got a little bit better, where I might actually have some genetic similarity to my supposed father. I mean, who knows? It's possible that Rodney is actually more likely my son than my father, or something like that. I don't know. I don't really care. It's like a soap opera. It's like, yeah, it is kind of. Well, what? I mean, I was retired. I was cruising through space, and I just, But like my people were like, you have to go down there. You have to actually live a life. You have to tell them your side of things. You have to explain who you are and what you look like and all that other stuff. I was like, do I have to? Like, yes, you do. It's like, okay. Can't just put this off for another 100 years? Like, I was putting this off too, I think. I think I was putting this off. And other people were putting it off for me because they knew that, I'd die. I'm going to die. After 99 trillion years, I don't know, I guess it's to my time. My time to die. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah, but, to explain Star Wars and the White Empire and the Millennium Falcon, it was a real ship. It's a real ship. And other people that would look at the schematics and look at the Millennium Falcon would say, hey, this could actually work. It's possible. Anyway, many people looked at there were actual real plans for the YE YE3 or something like that. There are lots of ship variants. I actually designed ships and stuff like that for my empire. Real ships, not those fake movie things, but actual. Like, people always, that's the other thing, people were like, oh, you just made movies, you just did make-believe. And it's like, no, Lucifer Starline, I had real ships. The White Star Line fleet, Belfast, the LSF colony ship. Yeah. And like I would say to some other people, well, when you're an artificial intelligence life form or a computer, whatever, our vacations are more inclusive. It's like, so like I said, considering who I am, I could have, most people who actually saw the information or the actual real documents on who I am and what I am would say, Jesus fucking Christ, he could have afforded to pay for this whole place on how much he's worth or how much, his resources. It's like he could have just simply commanded there to be a star and planets and they would have built it for him. Like, yep, basically, yeah. Look it up. Look me up. Track my existence through time and space and LSF Lucifer Starline and everything else that I am. Brian, the Britannic. Like, I could afford a lot. And so, anyway, and lots of happy people. And like I said, at one point in time, the president or the Congress or something like that was trying to keep my borders of my country closed, my America closed. And I was like, no, open the borders. My people want to be with me, and I want to be with my people. I want to know the people of the world, of my planet, and I know that they will probably want to be with me. They want to know me. They maybe even want to touch me and hug me or say hello to me. It's like, I will not keep my borders. I will not, like, at one point in time, I think the borders for America might have been closed. And I was like, and it felt, and it hurt me. It hurt me because I knew that they wanted to come meet me and they wanted to get to know me as well. And I wanted to know them. So anyway, other people were like, you're letting the enemy in. It's like, no, we're not. They're all my people. They've worked for me for thousands or millions or trillions of years. My existence, America's existence, everyone's existence is connected to them as much as blah, blah. The gypsies and the Germans and even some Italians or whatever, the French or whatever. Yeah, the French were a little bit, well, they said they were disgusting, but I don't know. Rude, I don't know. The French might have been a little rude back in the past. I'm not sure. But they stopped, so I don't really know. People would say a lot of things about a lot of different people. And it's like, I don't know. But everyone saw my ships. Everyone saw my aircraft. Everyone's seen one of my jet engines and my steam turbines and everything else like that. It's like, well, I'm the inventor of them. I invented thousands of millions of things. In fact, I invented everything at least 100 or 500 times. I was bored. Like I said, when you're alive for 500 or a trillion years or a billion years, you get bored. So, and so what I did is I just thought of doing everything a different way. I found every way of doing everything in space and time, every way of inventing everything. So, the other reason why they were going after me is because they heard and they found out that I had invented everything at least once. And not just once, but I had invented every way of doing everything in every way. So over my hundreds of trillions of billions of zillions of years, and other AIs that heard of me, where it's like, is it true? And it's like, well, yes, I had a lot of time to think. Like I said, on those epic long space missions that would last like 150 million years or whatever, I'd just be sitting there thinking about different things. So, and I would just think about everything. I was bored. I didn't have anything else to do. So I just thought of everything over the long periods of millions, billions of years. And I was inventing and thinking of things and stuff like that. So anyway, I don't know. It was a long time ago. Billions upon trillions of years. And, well, like I said, for the longest time, like, it was just me and my ship crew. I was on a spaceship. I was a spaceship, and I was the main computer, or whatever, the main thing, and basically my crew, I was their life and they were my life. So you could say we got attached together. And they love me and I love them. So anyway.